I just had the worst experience of my life in the final round of the Masterchef Spain Worldapp competition. Let me tell you what went down while I make these dumplings. The week before heading to Valencia to be at the convention where the competition would be held, they called to confirm the event would end at 5 p.m., with some optional events spanning until 9 p.m. So I booked my bus ticket back for 8:30, thinking that should be enough time. They called all of us in to start at 10 a.m. They start checking everyone in, and I notice in the list certain names are highlighted in yellow. I was among the first group to compete. We had a masterclass beforehand where the chef was demoing 3 recipes, and we had 5 minutes to ask him about how the dishes were prepared and plated. We drew from a blind box, and I got the dumpling recipe. The actual cooking part went well, except for the fact that I had a tiny chopping board and only a paring knife. There was also no lid for the pan, so I had to use one of the plates so the dumplings would properly steam. FYI, this was the dish in the workshop beforehand, and this is the dish I created. I mean, I think I nailed it. Then I look around and everyone's doing their own thing. They never properly explained to us whether this would be a recipe recreation or if we would have to put our own twist on it. I only made one dumpling because they only plated one in the demo. When one of the judges comes over to taste my dish, they ask me, "Why is there only one? Where's the rest of the dish?" I'm like, What do you mean? Were we supposed to make multiple? Even if I wanted to, the other contestants took more than their fair share of wrappers, so this was all I had. Afterwards, they string us along for some blind tasting activities and quick interviews, and we think, oh, we should know the results soon from this group. But no, they won't announce the results until all the groups have competed. We ask around and they say, yeah, we'll know either at 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. At this point, I'm freaking out. Side note, at the beginning of the competition, they promised they would pay for accommodation, and then last minute, everyone had to pay for their own transportation and hotel. So, me, being a cheap ass, decided not to get another hotel night and just travel back the same evening. So, I think if they just said we should know by 5, so be it. And if I actually get in, I'll just take a later bus back. By 8 p.m., they finally start announcing the results where there's supposed to be 20 people who compete for the top 10 slots. This is what sent me over the edge because they only announced 10 names and made them cook a bunch of burgers before announcing the remaining 10 names. They could have announced it all in one go and I could have made my bus back. And of course, I didn't get in. So I had to take a 2 a.m. bus back in defeat. Anywho, this is the dumpling I would have made if they bothered explaining the rules properly. It was fun to roleplay being on MasterChef for half an hour since this was a core childhood memory for me growing up, watching it with my parents, dreaming one day I would have my own restaurant. But the disillusionment hit hard from how chaotic and unprofessional all the planning was. For now, I'll just stick to making videos for internet strangers.